I love words. I love describing things, especially when you can do it accurately. And when you find that combination of words that gets your exact meaning across, ooh, it's so good. I love seeing language evolve so that we can describe even more things even more accurately. And I would have thought everyone was like me in this regard. But some people insist on creating a problem where there wasn't one. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Farah, and today I'm not being overtly trans exclusionary. And I'm finding it really easy and simple. People discussing issues like childbirth, menstruation, and abortion have recently been using terms like pregnant person, people who menstruate, person with a uterus, as opposed to just woman, because people are trans. So trans men, non-binary people, anyone who can give birth or who menstruates or who might need an abortion but does not identify as a woman are included by those terms, as are any women they apply to, because not all women menstruate or have a uterus or can get pregnant. And some cis women take issue with these terms. The notion that language that has been developed to be inclusive and accurate is somehow erasing women is not new. It tends to crop up around abortion rights conversations. I noticed a lot of this around when Roe versus Wade was overturned. I feel like we have the same cycle of conversation each time there's a threat to abortion rights. No vagina, no opinion! Men shouldn't have a say in this! Actually, some men can get pregnant and may need abortion access. And around we go. But inclusive language is not erasing anybody. Quite the opposite. And the practice of including trans people when we talk about things that they are affected by can only benefit us all. J.K. Rowling is a very prominent example of a cis woman who takes issue with this practice. Because of course she is. People who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wumben? Wimpund? Woomud? The brilliant mind behind the beloved Harry Potter series, everyone. In the wake of Roe versus Wade being overturned by the Supreme Court, Bette Midler also shared her thoughts on how trans-inclusive language is woman erasure. Women of the world! We are being stripped of our rights over our bodies, our lives, and even of our name. They don't call us women anymore. They call us birthing people, or menstruators, and even people with vaginas. Don't let them erase you. Every human on earth owes you. Now this is interesting, because I do think it's the same stuff gender critical people come with again and again, this fake moral panic over whether the word woman will ever be used again. It will be. It constantly is. It's Women's History Month right now. But the end of this tweet, still up by the way, both of the ones I've read are, is definitely not something they'll say out loud every time. Every human on earth owes you? For what? I assume this is a reference to childbirth. First of all, we did not ask to be here. No human on earth asked to be born. And not to be negative, but most days it is hard for me to imagine asking to be born into this world. And not all women give birth. So if that was the point, it's not a strong one. But, every human on earth owes you. I'm open to being wrong about this, but what I'm absolutely reading from this part of the tweet is a wealthy white woman attempting to protect her power. And I think only wealthy white women and those influenced by their propaganda would see worshipping and pedestalizing women for biological features or abilities seen as natural to women or defining of womanhood as the end goal of feminism. Like, that's actually not good. You get that, right? The effect of inclusive language in conversations about menstruation or childbirth is actually that women are not defined by their bodily functions. That's what we should want! But I guess I can see how being hailed as a divine, faultless, altruistic entity simply for being a woman who can carry a pregnancy to term would look like liberation to someone who is always going to have reproductive health care. And money. And padding from a lot of the more severe manifestations of sexism. But it's just unearned praise for the anatomy you happen to have been born with. Let me know your thoughts on what Bette Midler meant with this tweet, but it definitely smacks of someone longing to be centered and to have people feel like they owe her. It's really interesting how white feminists are only against the hierarchies that disadvantage them, because wanting to establish their position over trans people, wanting to impose superiority over trans people, is absolutely a part of this. When you're arguing that we should speak in ways that don't include trans people, you're arguing that it should be harder for trans people to get the care or resources that they need. You're arguing that the margins of society are where trans people belong, and that cannot stand unchallenged. Most recently, Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks has expressed similar views. On March 22nd, she tweeted, "I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, birthing person, or person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is?" Yeah, it's so degrading to be referred to as a person. Honestly, I was surprised that she tweeted this. Admittedly, I've only seen a few videos with her in them, so I'm not super aware of all of her opinions, and disagreeing with Dennis Prager is a low bar to clear. So if this is unsurprising behavior for her, noted. You can call yourself whatever you'd like, but that truly has very little to do with this conversation. You can be more than one thing. If you have a uterus and identify as a woman, both terms apply to you. These words are for utility. I'll answer to woman, and if someone says people who menstruate, I'm gonna listen to what they say next, because that describes me. They're probably gonna say something relevant to my experience or needs. So when this inclusive language is used, if it doesn't apply to you, you can tune out. If someone says pregnant people, I'm scrolling past. This language is very important, especially in medical, legal, and political settings. Being included under people with a uterus does not mean you stop being a woman if that's how you identify. Please stop with the silliness. Also, please stop pretending people are coming up to you in the street saying, oh my gosh, Julie, Mike, this is Julie, the person with a uterus from my office. No one is doing that. You saw an infographic on Instagram and got angry. If you're a cis woman, those words are not being used to describe you individually. So you're complaining about situations where these terms are being used for masses of people. And my response is, it's not about you. Thanks for watching. I'm leaving some relevant resources in the description. My socials are always down there as well. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I love describing things. And some cis women take issue with these terms. See how I called them women just then? Anyway. No vagina! No vagina! It's Women's History Month right now. First of all, we didn't ask to be here. Like, that's bad, actually. You get that, right? Like, that's actually not good. Ugh, weird. You can be more than one thing. You can be more than one thing. Me personally, I'll answer to woman. And if someone says people who menstruate, I'm gonna tune in. Please stop with the silliness. Oh my gosh, Julie, Mike, this is Julie, the person with the uterus from my office. No one is doing that. I wanted to do the video in my new glasses, but like I couldn't suffer the glare. Like, it's driving me crazy. But don't I look like somebody's auntie? I'm obsessed. I feel like a young, sexy Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh.